Hello, and welcome to Breachway. So looking again at the Steam Next Fest, and this, from the demo, well, from the trailers, the demo, it looks a bit like FTL-esque. So we're going to give it a go and see what's happening with this. It looks like a sort of deck building FTL-like game, so we'll see how it goes. A jolt awakens you as you hear a distinct beeping of doors opening. As reality creeps back in, you slowly recognise your surroundings, the cramped confines of your quarters on the Atlas. Wake up, the captain wants to see us on the command deck. He seems pretty agitated and you look groggy as hell. So just let me do the talking. Right. There's an unusual flurry of activity. The captain, studying the data feed on the consoles, beckons you over. Infrared sensors detected a large explosion in Solaris space, right where one of their research stations is located. Whatever they were up to, it looked like it didn't go as planned. So it might be our big break then. A chance to get to turn this scavenging mission around and not go home empty-handed. Could well be. We're closer to the station than any of the Solaris fleets in the system. We can't risk approaching with the Atlas, however. It would be picked up by fleet scanners and we'd be done for. A small ship like the Magpie, though, launched at our current speed, could get there undetected. It'll run on minimal reactor capacity, using only manoeuvring thrusters for flight path adjustments. With all due respect, sir, the fireworks will likely attract other scavengers. Which is why the lieutenant here is tasked with protecting the Magpie in case things go south. I'll assemble a team while you make the necessary preparations. Report to docking bay in 30 minutes. Ship selection. This is the ship's status screen. You can view statistics such as the number and types of hardpoints, starting equipment and crew. Each piece of equipment contains a few starting cards and has capacity to add more cards as you play. It requires an assigned crew member to function. If you want a better look at your ship, you can orbit the camera while keeping the left mouse button pressed. Or use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Once you're done inspecting your ship, click on the accept button on the ship selection window to proceed. So we've got an artifact, AI. Placeholder for actual crew. Cannot gain experience, has no abilities. Right. We've got Ivan Branko. Next attack played this turn deals plus 50% damage. Combat train, chance to spot ambushers and get the initiative in combat encounters. We've got Tristan Singh. Next shield card played this, whatever icon that is. I'm guessing turn. Gives 50% shield points. Bonuses in scavenging event and extra options in other narrative events. Chance of getting extra credits in combat rewards. And then we've got Lena Starling. Is it Lena or Lena? Don't know if they're a guy or a girl either. I'm gonna say a girl, and I'm assuming that's Lena then. I do have a bit two E's then, and if it was Lena, there'd be two N's. I think so. It's something's off there. Gain 2 of each resource. Can provide advantages in certain situations. Chance to repair hull damage after combat encounters. Okay. We get a laser cutter that slices things, a shield that blocks things, and engineering that gives us target locking. Right. I'm guessing we've not really got anything that we can really do differently here. Right, that'll have to do. I'll get started then. I'm assuming that in the full game you'll have things that you can unlock there and start out with different equipment. Just follow the nav points I laid out. Should be at the wreckage in about 2 days, and we'll rendezvous back with the Atlas. We just stick to the asteroid belt as much as we can to avoid detection. I don't really see why the captain decided to put you in charge of my ship. What's your tone? While we're on this mission, this is your new captain. Come on now, we got a mission to do. You can all fight once we get back on the hauler. So I'm guessing we're scavengers then, trying to tear apart this research station before anyone gets there. Soon things settle down and everyone is at their assigned posts. Time to start familiarizing yourself with the ship's command console. Station wreckage, neutral. And a bunch of unknown stuff. Waypoint neutral, and I'm guessing this is where we probably started, so we'll go there. It flashes a warning indicating combat near your flight path. Not long after, the infrared sensors flare up as the ship explodes. The remaining ship changes course, heading in your direction. There's no way their sensors spotted us. We've been running cold for almost a day now. Just our luck then. Their flight path will take them right within radar detection range. Fair combat protocols. Right. We'll get started with the first tutorial battle then. This is your hand of cards, displaying the actions you can take each turn. Each requires resource to play, shown as a number in the lower part of the card. The coloured number indicates your current energy. The white shows the energy income at the start of the next turn. Resources carry over between turns. Enemy actions are based on their equipment. Each piece of equipment has a card slot, indicating the next action. Cards gain 1 pip each turn. When all pips are filled, the card's border turns white, signalling that it will be played on the next turn. So we get a bit of advanced warning, that's nice. You play cards by dragging and dropping them over the crosshair region. Attack the enemy by playing 2 slice cards to advance. There we go. And then end turn. So it really is just FTL, the collectible card game. Shields are your primary defense, with each point blocking 1 damage. Shields have at least shields half at the start of each turn, so deploy shields just before an attack for maximum effectiveness. Right, so they don't go each turn, they just half. Right. So you still get some effectiveness out of it. The enemy ship is about to attack. Play a block card to prevent hull damage from the enemy's upcoming attack. Boom. After playing a card, it moves to your cooldown pile. Cooldown duration is indicated by a number next to the icon on the card. Once off cooldown, it returns to your draw pile. Press the tab key or click the status the card status in the UI for an overview of cards in your draw, hand and cooldown. Right, so draw, cooldown, slice, block and target lock. In the draw pile we've got saying so what's on cooldown? I get it. Those are in hand with the white outline. The ones that are lit up are available in the draw pile, and the ones that are greyed out, yeah, with the little time icon on, are in cooldown. Gotcha. Right. I'm familiarised. Let's roll. Persistent effects on your ship appear above your card hand. Some effects last for a set amount of turns, while others have an upkeep condition you have to meet each turn to maintain the effect. Where is this shown? Can't see. Oh well. He is going to shield pulse. Upkeep. Play at least 1 turn. Cost to maintain the effect. We need to play an attack. We can draw block. but next turn slice will come off cooldown, so we'll probably get some slices. So if we attack, we'll maintain our block. So we'll maintain our lock. He's now shielding. And he's about to attack. We'll maintain our target lock. And we'll put some block up. We get hit by a laser pulse, but it doesn't do anything. And we hit him with a slice. That should be them done. Interesting seeing it all in like actual 3D. FTL's always been a top-down 2D affair, but I always did like seeing the internals of the ship and the crew running around and micromanaging it, and that were quite interesting. The area is starting to get pretty lively. We should expect more combat on our approach to the station. Looks like we're not the only ones stupid enough to raid a Solari factory. Oh, Solari facility, not factory. Too late to hide now. Asking for permission to restore the reactor's ordnance protocol. That should allow us to squeeze some more out of it. It will also improve our laser's photon output. Override the cutter. Permission granted. Override cutter's safety protocols. Will need more firepower. That should enable it to emit concentrated laser pulses. Won't be military grade, but it'll be close. You now have access to the ordnance resource. It's the main resource for attacks. Open your ship's status screen to inspect your resource area. You have one unallocated reactor power. Left click on ordnance to add your extra power to it. You can redistribute reactor power between your resources at any time. Right click on energy twice to remove 2 from it, left click to add 2 to ordnance. Your power distribution should be 3 ordnance, 2 energy, yep. To close the ship's status screen, click the button again. Onwards. We've got a ship closing in on an attack vector, looks like pirates. You can redistribute your reactor power anytime in combat. Right click on the resource type to remove 1 power unit. Left click to add. This allows you to set your resource income to suit your needs. Adding 1 power to a resource generates 1 heat. Heat changes take place after playing the next card. Ships have a heat resistance and dissipation value. Resistance is the amount of heat that a ship can safely sustain before overheating. Dissipation is the amount of heat removed at the end of each turn. Each point of overheat deals 1 hull damage at the start of your turn, so don't fry yourself. Right, it looks like they're about to do a laser pulse, so we're going to try and block a bit.
Shields up, Captain.
And we'll end our turn. Right. Cards with this icon are precision attacks that target specific enemy equipment. Drag and drop these cards on enemy equipment or card in the UI or a piece of equipment on the ship model to attack it. Each enemy equipment has durability. When it hits 0, it breaks, preventing any actions. Enemy equipment is automatically repaired in 3 turns. Durability damage from precision cards is indicated by the crossover shield icon. You can right click to discard unwanted cards, freeing up a slot for a draw next turn. Discard ones go into the cooldown as if they were played. Right. We want target lock. Boom. And we have some ordnance, so we're going to put a beam sweep on them. Get them. Right. This just needs ordnance. Doesn't necessarily need energy or anything, so Shield pulse. We can't take it out, we can heavily damage it. Now does that do hull damage? It still does, yes. So, right. You can right click to discard them. Yeah, it's just told us this. It's about to shield pulse, so we'll do another beam sweep. Okay, and we'll end our turn there. He's going to do a heavy blast. We can't quite take the guns out, so we're going to block now.
Shields up, Captain.
We haven't got enough energy to put up a second block, but we can hold it steady with that. We'll take a bunch of damage. We'll throw him a beam sweep in return, and that should do it. Click on the flashing subsystem to add it to your cargo bay. And we get some money. Lovely. We should look at the mass refiner in the module to the reactor. Or we should hook up the mass refiner to the reactor. It's crucial for improving our power output and strengthening the Magpie's shield system. It was originally meant for deflecting dust and minor asteroids, not high-powered lasers. I can modify it to suspend high-density particles in its magnetic field, diffusing laser beams and absorbing kinetic force. This improves defense but requires mass. Mission granted. We also salvaged a functional subsystem from that ship. I'm sure we can put it to good use. It might help us get out of this in one piece. I'll be claiming that as reparations for my ship when we get back to the Atlas. The Magpie will need a new coat of paint once all this is over. Right. You can upgrade your reactor with credits you gather on your journey. To upgrade your reactor, open that. So we just insert coin and it starts going faster. You now have access to mass used for upgrades and repairs. Add your upgraded power unit to mass by clicking on the resource. Yay. Subsystems enhance compatible equipment and their cards with various effects. Drag and drop the subsystem from the cargo bay to your modified cutter for application. Only one of the same type can be added to an equipment. Right. Infrared emitter. So this is for lasers. Attack. Any attack from this weapon that deals hull damage adds +1 heat. To our modified cutter. Boom. Right. Done. Next. Or do we have to come off that first? So we have a station wreckage now. It's in view, but seems quiet. The tension is palpable. Judging by the infrared emissions, there should still be some functional equipment we can salvage. Wait, look at the fluctuation in those readings. I bet you a week's rations. There's a ship lying in wait to spring an ambush. Prep the laser and let's go around to get the jump on them instead. Circle round. Advantage first attack deals +3 damage. Yep. So the notice is coming. Crew members have abilities you can activate during combat. To inspect the abilities, hover over a crew member's portrait. They don't use regular resources, instead they cost command points and have a cooldown after use. Your command point capacity is determined by the amount of crew on board. +3 max command points per crew member. Right. They have a big shield at the moment, they've got 6. they're going to hit us a lot. So the shield now needs mass, but it now gives us more shield. Okay. We've now got 12 shield. Let's end our turn. Incoming enemy missile. You can track missiles in the lower left part of the screen, above your hull points. Missiles have a delay of 1 or more turns before they hit. You can defend by playing shield cards or shooting them down with special missile defense cards. Right. Damn. We've got 4 shield. We should be fine at the moment. Right. Ready. Target lock. Beam them.
Enemy shields down.
And let's hit that. Nice. Right. Maybe I should have put overload cannons on or something. Next shield card gives plus points, gain 2 of each resource. There are some attacks coming in. We can gain 6 shields. Right, let's end turn.
We've been hit, Captain.
Okay. It's very fast firing, I'll give it that.
You are now shielded.
We'll put a shield on. The beam should hit now, the missile comes in next turn. It's got 21 health left. Next attack played. Yep, let's do it. Yeah. Because we really need to start chunking through this thing. Right. Missiles are disabled. It's overheating. We can block that easy enough. We'll block for now.
Shielding enhanced.
Right. Its weapons are all back up. We can beam sweep. I think that means it's gonna overheat and just die. Here's hoping. Yep. Got him. Click on the fashion equipment to add it to your cargo bay. Click on add a card to select a card to add for any piece of equipment on your ship that has available card slots to fill. Deal 3 damage 2 times. Precision. Ooh. Shield stream, gain 4 shield points and 1 duration per turn. Prevent shield halving, counts down every turn. Ah. disable one energy production for its duration. Add one card slot. Costs one mass for every existing card slot. Effect does not expire. Card removed from the deck while effect is active. So it can gain another. Okay, we'll go for that. I was torn between that or the weapon, but right. Basic missile rack. Continue. Morale determines the rate at which you gain command points. Some choices in events can affect how morale can affect crew morale temporarily or permanently. So we gain that over time as we move along the overmap here, right? Area clear, no further hostiles in engagement range. Deploying recon drone for visual sweep of the wreckage. Look behind that plating. That black box is the station's main data storage and backup unit. It's bound to have some valuable research data we can sell. Who knows what they were cooking up here. Getting out of your mind, the Sly catch wind of us, stealing that, we're as good as dead. We need a new air recycling ventilation system back at the station, don't we? This is why we went on this scavenging run in the first place. This will bring in enough credits for all that and more. Enough squabbling, we've got a limited window. Our orders were to retrieve all valuable salvage, so let's get to work. We retrieve a black box and fill the cargo bay with valuable salvage that we can sell. After work's done, we set course to rendezvous with the Atlas. Open your ship status to inspect your salvaged equipment. Drag the equipment from the cargo bay and drop it onto the appropriate empty hardpoint. Boom. Right. Lovely. Rendezvous. Incoming tight beam transmission from the Atlas. This Atlas we've got a situation. Sly has flagged us for interrogation. They most likely got all their sensors pointed at us until we meet up with their patrol ships. Any attempt to pick you up would incriminate us both. We'll be fine, but I'm afraid you'll have to return to the station on your own. Keep your burn minimal and maintain low profile until you're clear. I've heard about the Sly interrogation methods. I wouldn't want to be on the Atlas right now. There's an alternate route we can take that will keep us away from any major flight corridors and known Sly fleet positions. Should work. We have enough Delta V and remaining fuel to get us to the station. Okay. That'll take us through deadweight controlled territory though. A solitary scavenger ship is sure to attract attention from those pirate scumbags. We best be on our toes. Right. Two path types in Breachway. Main paths, shown in blue lines, allow for forward movement. Secondary paths, marked in yellow, permit forward and backwards. Moving to a node on a secondary path consumes 1 fuel. Available and home station. Right. We intercepted a distress call, a civilian transport under attack. They won't last long without intervention. If we reroute power to thrusters for max burn, we could intercept in time, pulling the raiders' focus. It's too risky, it would leave us exposed during the approach. The deadweight could attack us freely, and we'd be defenseless until combat systems were online. It's calculated risk. Diverting their fire from the transport to us is the only way to save that ship. Our hull should hold against barrage. Distract the pirates and save the civilian transport. Wait until we are fully charged before engaging. Stay out of this and we'll lose morale. We'll go in then. Right. We divert power to engines and fire up the thrusters to max capacity. Let's roll. The enemy has a flak cannon. Uh-oh. They have random damage within a range. Attacks have shredding values. Hull damage from a flak attack is equal to hull damage from a flak attack that is equal to or higher than the attack's shredding value triggers the shred status on the target. So if we take hull damage that's equal or higher than the attack's shredding value. Right. Each shred stack raises the flak's minimum damage by 1. Shred decreases by 1 if not reapplied for a turn. Shredding 5. So you want a low shredding value to be really good, don't you, I guess? Right. They're going to deal 3 to 7. We should block.
Shields up, Captain.
And we'll end our turn there. We're going to face a laser burst this turn. We've already got 2 blocks, so we're only going to take 2 damage. That said, so we're going to target lock. We definitely want this turned off. Right. Oh, deplete. What's deplete then? Remove from battle once played. Ah, so basically you only have so many rockets and you have to reload them then, between battles. Interesting. And we've got enough energy to block again. We can do. We might as well.
Target reached, Captain.
Burn 23 hull. We're going to take 3 to 7 damage. We'll put a block up. It's not going to do anything. They don't appear to have any shields though, I will give it that. So this shouldn't be too crazy. Right. We'll block. And we'll wait for a moment. Right, the flat barrage has gone offline. We can just open up on them at this point. Right. Expanded capacity is going to be ready soonish. If we do a laser pulse, that should take that offline. Oh, it's killed them as well. PDC array. Point defense auxiliary mount. And we can add a card. Gain 4 ordnance, and then it gets removed. Shield amp. Gain 10 shield points. Requires shielded. Right. So if we have shield points, we will gain 10 shield points from this. It requires a lot of energy though. Light torpedo, deal 8 damage after 2 turns. Right. Requires 3 ordnance production. Catalyst pulse, deal 4 damage and deal 4 damage to systems. All pulse cards played this turn deal +1 damage. We do have laser pulses, so that would actually help. Let's go for catalyst pulse. Sounds really cool. Right. The point defense cannon goes in the auxiliary mount, providing effective defense against enemy missiles. It operates without a crew member, but doesn't add an extra card slot in combat. Open your ship to see it. Auxiliary mount. There we are. You come across an abandoned repair station. Dock and attempt to do some repairs. It might not look like it, but some of the equipment left here is actually in good working condition. Right, we'll get 12 hull points repaired. Good job. Right, moving to another combat. A gunship's getting ready to fire. They must have some stealth tech that kept them hidden from the Magpie's sensors until they made their way into direct engagement range. We've got an incoming hail. There you are, little Magpie. We've been looking forward to having a word with you. This doesn't need to get messy. Hand over that data core you've got in your hold, and you'll fly away unscathed with the rest of your salvage. Power down and prepare for boarding. If we power down our reactor, we're as good as dead. We're dead either way. We can't take light crews on this ship. We'll go down swinging. I'm not taking orders from a pirate. It saddens me to hear you chose violence, Captain. The data core is designed to withstand thermonuclear blasts. Don't expect us to hold back. Wonderful. I'm so glad it was engineered so well. Oh dear, yes, this is a significantly larger ship. Let's just really get the sense of hopelessness going here. We'll zoom out fully on ours. Zoom in on theirs. Right. Careful, that spread shot can shoot down our missiles. Deal 0 to 5 damage and destroy the closest enemy missile. Ugh. So we can't fire missiles while that's up. This will hurt. Ow. Light barrage. So it's gonna flak now. Right. Next shield card gives more points, gain resources. Next attack played this turn deals 50% damage. Fire ordnance, go! The cool thing is, because we can hold cards, we can wait until we've got some catalysts ready. Ooh.
Incoming missile.
We're taking some hits. Okay. That's... yeah, we want to take out this, well, whatever the hell this is. It is a... I'll hover over it. This thing, whatever it is there. That gun. Right, so Pulse does extra this turn. Weapons down. We got them. There's missiles coming in, we need to block. End our turn.
We're hit.
Enemy is going to be firing on us.
Shields up, Captain.
Yep, lovely, right. End of turn. Ooh. Might be time to gain one of each resource. Well, 2 of each resource. We'll expand capacity.
Capacity increased.
We do need some shield to prevent this missile. And we are going to... Let's shoot down... I guess either them two will work. Right. Looks like we're just gonna shoot the thing. We've got some incoming damage though, which it looks like we're probably just gonna have to take. Enemy attack still -1 damage, duration 3 turns. We are running out of health. But that will get rid of that missile, which is going to do 7 damage.
Enemy missile intercepted.
Okay. We're not doing too hot. What is all this coming in? Oh, 3-rower pilot. Target's locked. Target locked. Missiles away. Hold on, Magpie. The cavalry is here. Hello. Do we get to see these come in on it? Looks like we've got company. We'll settle this some other time. Oh, we didn't get to see him hit. I'm wondering what was happening then for a moment. Next turn enemy deals -2 damage, so a blinding pulse. That costs a lot of energy. We can't afford that. Shield stream, firecracker. 2 damage 3 times in 1 turn. Deplete. Gain 4 energy. Ooh. That's good. Another PDC burst. It's got to be capacitor. Because we are having some energy issues at the moment. Right. Looks like we arrived just in time. The director dispatched us for your safe return after hearing about the Atlas incident. We'll continue the pursuit of that ship. Your path to the station is secure. Home up ahead, preparing for docking procedures. The station's gravity kicks in. You and your crew disembark. You head to the station quarters to rest, while dock workers start unloading the cargo bay. A few hours later, you're called to meet the station director in her office. I've had our researchers look at the data you brought back in the black box. While heavily encrypted, Rin managed to extract some data on the research they were conducting in the station. It has to do with the anomaly that swept through our system a while back, knocking out a large part of our electronics. The equipment aboard the research station was able to extract some sort of information from it, leading them to believe it was a message or signal of unknown origin. The data shows multiple star systems within the Breachway network were similarly affected, which led to them to trace the trajectories to a set of coordinates where they converge. Whatever it may be, the information is too dangerous to keep here. The Solari will come looking for it sooner or later. They're already moving their fleets close to the system's breachway access points. They don't want this getting out. Take the black box with you and leave. Rin will accompany you to try and further decrypt the data. Judging by the Solari response, the signal might lead to something important that could shift the balance of power. Me and Ivan are joining you as well. We want to see this to the end. We're preparing a Corvette-class gunship in the hangar for you. Posing as a mercenary, Posing as a mercenary will allow you to move freely within the Breachway network without raising suspicion. Once you're ready to leave, head to a random system in the Breachway, and from there start making your way towards the signal. This should make it more difficult for the Solari to connect you to this whole goddamn whole thing. Godspeed, Captain. Right. So we're getting a Corvette now. Right. And now we actually get to make some proper choices. So I'm assuming that that was all the prologue and this is the actual game. Or actual demo here. Right. So, Ivan. Extra payload on shots. We can get Rin, who gives 4 shield points. So basically we can activate her for a quick block if we need one and we haven't drawn one or got the resources. Gain 2 of each resource. Right, so they're pretty good. We get a resource booster. Conservation capacitor. If we click on it, yeah, we can look at the cards. 1 energy for every 2 ordnance you spend this turn. Gain 4 energy. Quite good. We get a basic shield and we get a basic pulse laser. Interesting. Oh. Some reactor power. So that's what it costs to increase capacities for those, increase reactor power. Right, so it tells like the cost of upgrading, which looks to be the same across each. So it looks like the Arbalest is the default, or you can try the Marauder. But it says, yeah, you have to unlock it, so we haven't got this yet. We get a Flat Cannon Mark II, that looks like a hell of a thing. Requires a lot of ordnance though, but it doesn't seem to run off energy, so yeah. Energy production not as important. It's all about ordnance with this thing. Kinetic attacks, flak railgun, gain plus 25% damage this turn. Ooh. Chance to spot enemy ambushers. Deadweight has a history in the Deadweight pirates and still holds some affinity for them. Okay. Mara, this turn draw a card every time you play a card. Ace pilot. Naturally talented, can fly spaceships better than most. So that'll probably have an effect in like events and things. Your next attack costs -2 ordnance. Pirate Savvy has a history with pirates and is knowledgeable about their operations. So this is like a pirate ship that we can take in with some ex-pirates. And that will probably give us some special dialogue options, I'm assuming, with the Deadweight faction. Then we've got a Lancer, not available in the demo. We have a Railgun. Oh, that was something from the previous one. We've got basic shields and Resource Augmenter. Which, ooh, basic shields, so shield pulsers and hasty defense, lose 3 hull, gain 12 shield. Ooh, these deplete, so they're removed from the battle once they're used, so it's a very aggressive ship. So yeah, the others get a barrier shield, this gets a basic shield. Right. Okay, so they have terrible shielding, but an amazing flat gun. And they have this resource augmenter. Gain 1 ordnance for every 1 ordnance production. Draw an attack card. Sustain 2 heat. Right. Or mass surge. Gain 4 mass. Sustain 1 heat. Lose up to 4 mass on turn end. So you can gain a load of mass, but you'll then lose it all if you don't use it. And lastly, Railgun. Just, yep, looks pretty good. Seems to do bonus damage to equipment, so very good at taking out equipment. And if this one destroys equipment, it'll deal additional hull damage. Drill round. Okay. Comes with a spare crew member. This one, yeah, these two come with 3 crew members and an AI assistant. Whereas this one comes with 4 people but no AI. Right. So next attack deals bonus damage. Yeah, so we've got a good gunner. Return something not found attack cards from your discard pile to your hand. Can talk his way around some unfavourable situations. Born and raised as a Starkin and still holds affinity for them. So a different faction there. Hacker, still work in progress. Game 1 security. Cipher. Get a suppressor. Remove 1 pip from a random enemy attack. Consume 1 security. Discard a random enemy attack card instead. So they basically hack them. Add 1 security. Energy cost is increased by security. Returns to your draw pile on play. -1 enemy shield duration. If already at 0, half its shield points instead. Consume 1 security. To activate the effect twice. Okay. Then we get Shin Garcia, who is, if available, draw cards to fill all empty card slots. And they're an engineer, so they can sometimes repair hull and be advantageous in certain events. Optimization, gain ordnance for every 2 mass you spend this turn. Gain 4 energy, sustain 1 heat, lose the energy at the end of the turn. And yeah, they're all about destroying equipment. So it's destroying equipment, hacking enemy shields, and getting some extra, like doing some resource conversion and just trying to take out enemy. Yeah, okay, I get it. So kind of basic, bit aggressive, a bit specialised. Right. Oh, and you've got, I think, is that your affinities there? So where the 3 roamers. There's the Starkin, the Solari, and the Deadweights. We hate the Solari. They are really good with the Deadweights, decent with the 3 roamers, but not so much with Starkin and Solari, whereas this one, they're a bit more affinity with Starkin and Solari, and not bad with it. So they're kind of neutral. So I guess that gives you a bit more of the freedom in that. I mean, we'll see what the overworld map looks like. We'll get in, we'll give it a look, but I think we are going to call this here for our look at this in the Steam Next Fest. Yeah, there we go. Most nodes are under the control of one of the game's factions. Events at these nodes are influenced by your standing with the controlling faction. Some events can present choices that modify your relation with one or more factions. Faction relations grouped as followed. 1 pip is hatred, 2 to 3 is dislike, so hatred can lead to negative event outcomes and ambushes, dislike lower the chance of ambushes and negative effects, 4 to 5 is neutral, standard event outcomes, 6 is allied and can lead to fire support from allied ships in combat and better rewards. Ooh. Sensors detect a large group of Starkin gunships on our flight path. Looks like they're trying to block any ships from entering the system through this breachway corridor. Judging by the large number of civilian ships further ahead, the blockade is meant to keep people in. Looks like the gunships are in disarray. They haven't reacted to our approach. If we make a run at full burn, we can punch through with little fighting. Right. So we've already got a faction event there. I'm going to call it here though. We're not going to go further, it's an hour in already, we'll complete the tutorial, but that kind of gives us an idea. So it looks like there's elites, it looks like there's... This is very interesting. So it very much looks like they've taken FTL. Now, granted, I've seen a lot of FTL likes come out over the years. They're a bit few and far between. There's not loads of them, but you tend to see a decent one rear its head every year or so. But they've never really it's rare that they fully copy the combat. You know, it's some weird reason they seem a bit skittish about just straight up copying the FTL combat model from the game. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. Just having, you know, moving your crew around and avoiding the dangers and hazards while managing the door systems and the oxygen with the tactical pauses, way better in my opinion. I do love like the micromanaging your ship like that. And the games that have attempted it, usually they don't stick to that grid system and they don't have proper like sealed off doors and sealed off seal off rooms and things and allow you to control the doors and vents. No one's really just straight up copied it. They've all tried to put either a spin on it or either simplified it or tried to add to it, and it's never really worked out, I think. This isn't... It's like it's not really copying the FTL combat at all. It seems to be copying... honestly, I would say this is actually kind of closer to something like Slay the Spire. It's literally someone has taken FTL, and especially with like these elites here, I mean, come on, and the different branching paths and things. So yeah, they've definitely, mind you, since you can kind of go back and forth and go on these secondary paths and all this, yeah, it's a lot more free flowing, but it is still kind of basically Slay the Spire with deck building and all that, with kind of Slay the Spire styled combat, but with the you know, parts and crew management on a ship, which is, again, it's literally like they've sliced the two games in half and smushed them together. But yeah, very interesting. I mean, it's certainly something I could get into, I think. It's definitely... And with all the shield systems and the status effects and all your cards being tied to actual parts on your ship, and you've been able to like target and shoot parts off of things, and it actually reminds me a lot of a game I played the other year called Death Road's Tournament, where your deck was actually comprised of the equipment that you mounted onto your vehicle in this kind of Mad Max style combat system, which is on the channel if you're wanting to see something similar to this. But it's definitely piqued my interest a bit. That it's not quite what I was expecting, but it definitely scratches an itch, and I do like Slay the Spire, I do like FTL, so it would make sense that putting them together in a sandwich would definitely appeal to me. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. This kind of gives us a bit of an overview as to what will be happening in the main game. We're not going to stick around to find out, because honestly, I mean, if a couple of events up to like here in the tutorial took an hour to complete, then I'm guessing this is an hour and a half of content minimum if you kind of speed through it. And it might even go to further... oh god, there's a boss at the end and everything. It might even lead to like further areas. I don't know how far we can take this before the demo ends. I would guess probably to the boss here, but that's gonna conclude our coverage for now. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Breachway, I believe it's called. We'll if we quit to, does it go to main menu? Yes, it does. It doesn't just quit to desktop, right? But yeah, this is Breachway. It looks interesting. I'd like to see if at the beginning you can like start your ship out with new stuff, like different. Maybe eventually you get different options and things, and you can unlock like permanent upgrades to your starting equipment and things like that. But we'll have to see. Anyway, there'll be more to come in the next fest. I've got a few more games kind of earmarked that I want to take a good look at. And I'll see you in future episodes. Thank you very much for watching though, and I'll see you then.